The following program is a Greenlight Maine production being brought to you in part by Bangor Savings Bank.
It's the way life should be. Greenlight Maine, building Maine's economy. Greenlight Maine, start here, scale here, stay here. It's your Maine and mine, building Maine's economy, one dream at a time. It's the way life should be. Greenlight Maine.
Welcome to the college edition of Greenlight Maine. We have top talent across our state. Students want to start a business, scale here, and stay here. And if they prove that to our judges, they'll win thousands of dollars in cash to expand and grow their companies. Today, we have Colby College and the University of New England on deck. But first, we want to talk to the people who have the tough decision to make and have done so much for our great state of Maine and building Maine's economy. So welcome Kim Pope from Bangor Savings Bank.
Thank you, Julene. It's so nice to be here. It's just such a thrill to represent Bangor Savings Bank in our communities and to be part of the college edition. My role at the bank is Chief Banking Officer, which means that I have the great privilege of working with all of our teammates who serve businesses with various different business solutions. So thank you for having us.
Absolutely, and you do so much for Maine, so thank you. Next up, we have Steve Couts from the Finance Authority of Maine. Hi, Steve.
Hi, thank you for having me back here. I am at the Finance Authority of Maine as a financial education specialist, and Finance Authority of Maine, or FAME, is a nonprofit independent agency that supports the economic well-being of Mainers through business development, access to higher education, and financial wellness, which is my area.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Abigail Carroll from Maine Angels. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It's such a great pleasure. At Maine Angels, we promote and invest in Maine businesses. And as a native Mainer and a third-generation Maine entrepreneur, that is just, I know that Maine's a wonderful breeding ground for independent thinking and successful businesses. So I'm so happy to be here today.
Very well said. All right, thank you all. We're going to talk to you in just a couple of minutes. It is time for our first entrepreneur. We have Menyou from Colby College. I'd like to welcome SK and Arham. Whenever you're ready, have fun.
Hi, I'm Sanjay Krishna, or I go by SK.
Hi, I'm Arham, and together we founded Menyou.
Imagine you're a college student. You're finally off your 3-hour lecture, ready to grab a bite and catch a break. You pull out your phone to check the menu, but it's a long list of overwhelming recipes you're unfamiliar with. So you take a shot in the dark and head to a dining hall because you're tired of scrolling. But with the first bite, disappointment sets in. It's bland and unappetizing and nothing like anything you were craving for. So you end up throwing most of it away. This scenario is repeated in colleges across nationwide, contributing to almost 22 million pounds of food wasted annually. The root of this problem is the lack of communication between students and dining services. Not only do dining services have to deal with excessive food waste and increased production costs, but an overall dissatisfied customer. Moreover, the uncertainty of us choosing a dining hall leads to inaccurate demand predictions, which leads to unnecessary labor and resource allocations.
This is where Menyou steps in. Menyou is an AI-driven application that learns users' dietary preferences to recommend them the most suitable dining options on college campuses. Here's how it works. After every meal, Menyou sends users a feedback form that uses simple sliders to allow the users to rate the meal that they just ate. Over time, Menyou accounts for this feedback and suggests the users the best option on dining on college campuses for them to eat at for every single meal. This data that Menyou collects is invaluable to dining services. We not only ask users for quantitative data, but also qualitative data, and dining services can use this to enhance their menus to reflect what users really want to eat. And here's the most exciting part. Menyou closely tracks users' preferences and past behaviors to predict demand for every dining hall, every meal, every hour, and even for specific food items. Dining services can use this accurate demand prediction to optimize their food production, staffing, and inventory, which ultimately amounts to cutting down their costs, minimizing food waste, and a more satisfied customer. We plan to use a SaaS business model that will generate revenue through yearly subscriptions with dining services.
Our competitive advantage lies in replacing generic menus with personalized options. The bigger our user base, the larger our data set and the stronger our recommendations will be, and the harder it will be for others to replicate it. Moreover, our business strategy goes this way. Even if you're able to prove our value to one dining service in one institution, we'll be able to quickly scale to the network of colleges in which they operate. Moreover, our solution is also easily replicable in similar environments such as corporates, nursing homes, and even restaurants, allowing us to broaden our target market in the future.
Presently, we're taking steps to release the app in Colby College, and we then plan to expand into other academic institutions and dining service providers inside the New England area. For this, we're seeking funding from Greenlight Maine to help develop our MVP and to conduct beta testing of our model across different institutions and industries inside Maine.
Our mission is simple: to enhance the dining experience for users while improving efficiency for dining services. Thank you.
Nice pitch. I can see where this is a very useful tool, so congratulations. All right, Kim, why don't you kick us off with the questions?
All right, well, thank both of you. You did a really great job. Such an interesting and innovative idea that seems to be helpful from both an economic perspective for the college and certainly experientially for the students. What made you come up with this idea?
So we were personal people who face those problems day to day, because we want to go to a dining hall, but we spend countless hours looking at it. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to choose where to go. But we also eventually found the dining services were also facing a lot of problem because of this. And that's where eventually it led to finding a larger problem to tackle on than just the student side.
We also see a lot of food waste in our dining halls every single day, and that's not something good that you want to see at college, so we want to tackle that.
Definitely not. Okay, Steve.
Very good presentation. A question for you. Obviously, this is something, as you just described, that caught your attention as a need. Have you been able to feel out the market for it? Like, are your peers, is this something folks are really into? And do you think the institutions have a taste for this?
Firstly, we did a customer discovery process in which we were conducting focus groups and surveys to get a really understanding that this is not just a problem we are facing, but the institution itself and colleges in the New England area are facing this problem. And with the dining service, we were also personally able to talk to them, interviewing staff members to actually understand that this was a problem that's even they are facing, and it's like common and between all of us.
Abigail.
Great presentation. I love it. A very clear market opportunity. I'm just curious, what do the dining halls do now? Do they have any tools at their disposal to try to figure this out? And is there any competition either in this sort of in a project, in a solution like yours, or are they trying to come at it a different way?
So the status quo is a static Menyou app that they currently use, but it does not personalize for every student.
Yeah.
And the dining services, to predict their demand at any dining hall, they just go off intuition.
Yeah.
So they see every day what food items get eaten the most, what don't get eaten, and they go off intuition. But we're proposing a system that makes that more accurate and automates that process.
So Colby is already using this?
Not yet.
Not
but
yet.
We're going to do a beta test of the student side, and then we plan to integrate the dining services with it as well.
And I have to ask, how is the food there?
It has its days.
Good answer. Okay, well, thank you so very much. We can't wait to see where you guys go with this because it's such a great idea. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but up next we have Team UNE, and they call themselves the UnderDogs, but they are anything but that. We'll have more Greenlight Maine coming up after a word from our sponsors. Come on over. Great job, you guys. Yeah, that was great. Yes.
Thank you.
Since 1852, Bangor Savings Bank has been helping New Englanders thrive by living our You Matter More promise. We invest in Northern New England because your ideas, your well-being, and your business matter to us. Our commitment is reflected in our caring employees, innovative solutions, and investments in local communities. At Bangor Savings Bank, you are at the heart of everything we do because you matter more.
With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. At Martin's Point, we make your Medicare choices easy. Our all-in-one Medicare plans cover doctor's visits, hospital stays, and prescription drugs, dental, vision, and eyewear, fitness and wellness reimbursements, with premiums and copays as low as $0. As one of the highest-rated Medicare Advantage plans in New England, you can feel confident you're covered. Call or visit us online today to request your free Medicare Made Simple guide.
Welcome back to the college edition of Greenlight Maine. We have another dynamic duo, this time from the University of New England. I'd like to welcome UnderDogs, Dylan and Joey. Whenever you're ready, look right at the judges and have fun.
Thank you. I'm Joey.
And I'm Dylan.
And we're the founders of UnderDog. When we founded the brand in 2019, initially we started as a motivational clothing line. And our goal was to culminate a community of like-minded individuals who were striving to accomplish their wildest dreams. Through fitness and inspiration, our community grew, but we wanted to have a bigger impact. An impact that could supply athletes like ourselves with a solution to a problem built on passion, transparency, and trust.
At the time, we were unsatisfied with the array of energy drinks available. They were either full of sugar, artificial sweeteners and preservatives, severely underdosed on performance ingredients, or lacked transparency on their label. We knew we could come up with a better solution. We spent the next year and a half formulating the first iterations of UD Energy, which is now UnderDog Performance Drink, and launched in the fall of 2022. We successfully created a healthier, more effective alternative to traditional energy drinks. It's naturally flavored and sweetened, zero sugar, no artificial additives, and has 5 key performance ingredients to fuel mental and physical performance. We're the only beverage available that has a fast and a slow release caffeine source, 2 nootropics to enhance focus, and citrulline for muscular support. In addition, we got our Informed Sport certification, which deems the product banned substance free and that our label is accurate.
The energy drink market is rapidly growing and is expected to reach $188 billion by the year 2031. And with consumers becoming more aware of the harmful additives included in most food and beverage products, we've positioned ourselves as a trailblazer in the market with our clean formulation and effective partnership initiatives. We're also starting to see success on the retail side of things as well. After our first year of online sales, we onboarded with a local Portland-based distributor called Brickyard Brands, which helped us expand our retail presence, especially amongst college campuses, including UNE, Bowdoin, Central Maine Community College, and UMaine. And this past summer, we also onboarded with 2 large distributors to help cover our local launch into the 16 Hannaford locations in Massachusetts. Within 6 months of sales, we were approved and authorization to onboard into the remainder of the 189 locations, starting this May, with Maine being the largest state by number of stores.
We have several key attributes that have supported our success on the retail level, like our college athlete program, our influencer support, our gym partnership initiatives, and our sponsored athletes. One of the biggest keys to our growth in the coming months is bringing on founder of G Fuel, Cliff Morgan. Cliff will be serving on our board of directors and acting as an advisor. He'll help bolster our growth, increase our awareness, and expand our distribution across the U.S. while maintaining emphasis on our roots here in Maine.
Since launching, we've raised $500,000 to build our foundation and to continuously gain proof of concept. Now we're raising $1.5 million to scale production and to meet growing demand, starting with our Hannaford expansion and key strategic partnerships to fuel this next stage of our growth. Thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome job. And I'd like to point out, you guys are also college athletes, right?
Yes, we are.
Hockey players.
Yep.
And you play?
We play center. I play center, sorry.
I'm a goalie.
Nice. All right. Okay, Kim, kick us off.
It seems that you are well down a really successful path, so congratulations. I have so many questions, but I guess the one I'll ask is, how did you set about having such early success and building such impressive networks?
Yeah, so really it's just one after another, but we really built our demand through samplings and doing demos, especially at Hannaford. Going and interacting, our product is very heavily involved on the education side of things, so being able to actually engage with the consumer is a big part of it.
Thanks, fellas. Very interesting, and like Kim said, you're well down the road in terms of already, running this thing. Question: tell me more about production. Like, are you renting space? Is someone doing it for you? Are you actually where is that now, and where's that headed?
For sure. So yeah, we work with a co-packer in Seabrook, New Hampshire called Noble Beverages. So our first run in the early stages of 2022, we actually worked with Atlanta, a group called CMC, and we were able to bring production back to the Northeast and partner with Noble. So we are responsible for ordering all the cans and the ingredients, and we send everything to Noble, where we get to go be a part of the production facility and be a part of the team for the day, and take in everything that goes into creating the product and actually fulfilling it.
Abigail.
A great presentation, and congratulations on the success in an industry that I think is pretty competitive. Tell me a little bit about price pressure and price pointing, and are there is there a lot of pressure on that? I know supplies and food supplies have gotten more expensive. Are you feeling that, and how are you going to protect yourself?
Yeah, so we've actually been able to decrease our unit costs from our first run, which was $25 per 12-pack case, to now this next run we're going to be just under $12 per 12-pack case, so obviously cut in half. And then what was the second part to your question?
Just gross margins and how you're going to protect that with increasing costs of inputs.
Yeah, so our MSRP price is $3.49 a can, which is on the higher end of the market, but we are a premium good. It's geared towards athletes. It's focused on that audience, which people are willing to pay that premium for the performance that they get from it.
Great. Next question, Kim.
I have a question about how you set about formulating the drink.
Yeah, so both Joey and I are avid supplement users, and our passion really stemmed from being in the gym and trying to find that edge for ourselves personally. So we were always experimenting with different sorts of pre-workout powders, any sort of supplement that could possibly increase our own personal performance. So part of that process for a year and a half was spent actually formulating the product itself, finding what ingredients work best for us. Both of us being in science backgrounds, we felt comfortable finding different ways to improve performance. So a lot of it was stemmed from us personally and our close group of friends that were willing to experiment and see what our first iteration. So we went through numerous samples to create the best product that we felt brought out the best in mental and physical performance.
We got time for one last question, Steve.
Okay. As you mentioned, it's a really competitive market, but a growing one, as you said. What has you think distinguished you guys and allowed you to come this far? Like what has been the thing that has, obviously gotten you into these stores? Because for a consumer, it's dizzying. They all look the same, and it's hard to know which is which and what they do. You described it very well, but is there a secret to your sauce so far?
Yeah, I'd say it's twofold. One is obviously the product and our formulation that sets us apart, but the product is merely just a vessel for the brand. This is a mission. It's a community, like Joyce stated in the start, and it's people who resonate with the UnderDog. So I'd say that's been our biggest differentiator, is we have a mission behind this and a goal that's really brought everyone together.
Yes, great name, and congratulations on all your success so far, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to hear from our judges. We'll be right back. Come on over.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations.
That's a lot of fun.
Nancy Marshall, the PR maven, here today with the Greenlight Maine Marketing Minute. Maine businesses must realize that Maine is a desirable state in which to live, work, and play. The state is renowned for its unique work-life balance, offering an exceptional quality of life where employees can find leisure activities from skiing to sailing just outside their offices. With abundant outdoor recreation and vibrant local culture, Maine provides an inviting way of life, and Maine employers should use the state as one of their greatest assets in recruiting talent. Since job seekers today desire to make a meaningful impact rather than simply holding a job, companies must pitch their experience as passionately as they would to prospective customers, capitalizing on the incomparable Maine way of life.
I am truly awestruck by the innovation that exists Fame has fundamentally been a part of keeping the business community here resilient and robust.
Our role is to help.
To have people in your corner that will guide you through the whole process is really helpful.
When they say, hey, we believe in this, it's a real boost to confidence.
Fame works for Maine, helping businesses and lenders create a bright economic future.
It's about helping Maine grow.
ARB's advisors are providing savvy solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, closely held businesses, and organizations that operate internationally. And we're doing it the way you'd want Mainers to, guided by our local, sensible values.
Whether you're a small business or a big business, whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, whether you're on the coast, in the city, a small town, wherever. If you're an organization here in Maine, if you want to innovate, and if you want to grow, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Welcome back to the college edition of Greenlight Maine. Everybody wants to hear what our judges think, so let's have our deliberation and start with Menyou, only because they pitched first. Unbelievable, what a great idea.
I would comment first and foremost, I just really appreciated the innovation of the company to find a way to help dining services know what their constituents want and in the process create a sustainable environment with less food waste.
Absolutely, right.
I have to keep reminding myself they are college sophomores, very polished in their presentation and in their sophistication of the business understanding of their idea. You know, not just recognizing that it has a demand for it, but the intricacies of, you know, cost and where this could save money and knowing the cost per plate, and really, really polished for their position in life.
Absolutely, yes. They definitely have done their homework. There's definitely a ton of opportunity, different channels where they can make money. It's like, where do they go from here?
Yeah, I thought they were wonderful. I love the very clear market opportunity for these, you know, dining services to really save money, and I love the sustainability aspect on it. I just think the less waste we have in our world today, the better, and they're right on that.
Okay. All right. You want to move on and talk about underdogs?
Sure.
Okay.
So again, terrific presentation by these two young men, Joey and Dylan. They're really well down a path. I think what I appreciated most about their presentation is the motivational spirit and their underdog brand to really lean into just motivating each other. I like that.
Yeah, really, they have practiced their presentation a lot and had a lot of information in that time. And it's really something to go into such a competitive market as the energy drink business and say, we're going to be different. And to really be staking a claim in that way is pretty impressive, despite the obvious challenges of such a competitive product.
Obviously, they've just made enormous traction in a very competitive industry. I also am very appreciative of the fact that they started by selling shirts and they sort of made a pivot. And I think that shows a lot of resilience and aptitude for what's going to be a very a tumultuous ride in a very competitive market. So I think they've shown grit.
Absolutely. Very strong. Both of these are very strong. So if you were to see either one of them come back to the finals, what would you be looking for maybe?
Oh gosh, if we were talking about Menyou, I would like to see some of the results of their beta testing, which is just on their horizon, for sure. If we're talking about UnderDog, just an update on how they're making progress with their production and the traction they're getting there.
Nice.
I think with Menyou, in addition to what Kim said, have they had a chance to dig more into the interest level from other institutions rather than just their own? Is that statewide? And then, like they said, maybe into other industries like nursing homes, et cetera, if they can continue to develop that potential market. And for UnderDog, I think they address the challenges of cost and fluctuations in their business, but I think as they intend to scale even bigger, that could become even more of a factor. So a continued deep dive into that analysis and the impact on their bottom line.
I think the observations just made were excellent. I think I'd like to know more about the pricing model for Menyou. I think that that will be really important as they grow, and it's got to work, but it's also got to be priced properly for that to take off. And I think UnderDog, the challenge will be to keep building this brand and maintain their sort of lead and their strong position in this market. And I'd like to hear more about that strategy. I think they're going to need some really strong partners to get to that next level.
Great comments. You gave them such constructive feedback both on camera and off. And it's important to note that you can still lose your round and go to the finals. And they're both very strong, so I wouldn't be surprised if they both do that. So we're going to give you a couple more minutes to decide who the winner is. But first, we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors. So don't go away. We'll have our winner next. We'll be right back.
With Thomas College, it's possible to earn a degree in 3 years and a master's in 1. It's possible to find yourself graduating career-ready through one of the nation's first guaranteed jobs programs. It's possible to become the future you, the one you dream to be. Because for 130 years, we've been dedicated to helping students unlock their possible. Because we're in the business of possible. That's Thomas College. Unlock your possible at thomas.edu.
Located off I-95 in Oakland, First Park is known as Central Maine's most connected business park. It features high-speed fiber internet, 3-phase power, and is located in a foreign trade zone, connecting your business to a world of opportunity. With shovel-ready, pre-permitted sites and only a short distance to the local airport and rail service, First Park also makes it easy for entrepreneurs, innovators, and businesses to distribute or receive products around the globe. Interested in locating your business to First Park? Get an exclusive offer at firstpark.com/gift.
Welcome back to the college edition of Greenlight Maine. We just heard 2 outstanding pitches from Colby College and the University of New England, and it's time to find out who gets the green light. Judges, I'm going to count you down from 3. 3, 2, 1. And that means UnderDog is the round winner and is moving on in the competition. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. We appreciate your feedback, so please keep the comments coming and check us out on all of our social pages, and you can see all of our episodes on greenlightmaine.com. We'll see you right back here next week for more Greenlight Maine. Until then, have a safe and successful week. Congratulations, guys. Awesome job. Yeah, go on down the line there.
Greenlight Maine would like to thank our premier partner, Bangor Savings Bank, our corporate partners, and our sponsors. Thank you.